Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Kal Halayimla, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, never well. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the Akim that are pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in all truth and sincerity, Lord willing. This reaches the ears of the hopeful elect. All right, so through the Spirit, I was meditating on the word. In fact, I was reading Sirach, in the 51st chapter, okay, and it prompted me to speak on wisdom, okay, and the importance of wisdom, okay. So, without further ado, I'll go ahead and jump right on into it. Lord willing, this is edifying. All right, Proverbs 1, and it says, the Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. Okay. And in order to perceive the words of understanding, really, it had to have come from the Lord. All right. It had to have come from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to have given you the revelation or the proper understanding. Okay. He sent forth his men, his servants, the prophets, okay, to give instruction, okay, by way of the heavenly doctrine, okay, the doctrine of the Lord. But if the Lord hadn't have opened up your ears or opened up your eyes, you wouldn't have been able to get it. Okay, so ultimately it comes from the Lord. It says, verse 3, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity. Okay, so with wisdom, we're able to see or to perceive justice. Okay, when a man that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity, that's righteous, righteous judgment. Oh, that's justice. Okay, it says and judgment and equity. All right, so we're able to perceive the things that happen on the face of the earth. Okay, the judgment that goes out, the destruction, the famine, the plagues. All right, that's all judgment of the Lord. Okay, and it's not by any coincidence or Satan, if you will, because a lot of people will love to deem that as Satan doing that. But little do they know, the Lord brings all of this, man. Okay, all judgment was given unto Yahweh Shai, pursuant to John 5, and I think it's the 22nd chapter. Okay, so anything that is perceived as judgment on the earth comes directly from the Lord. The Lord kill, he maketh alive. He bring it, he make it rich, he make it poor. It all comes from the Lord. Verse 4 says, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. Okay, because with wisdom, there's a sense of a glow around you, if you will. Okay, people can see the wisdom illuminating off of you. All right, and naturally, a young man, okay, who has any sense, if you will, is going to cleave to someone who is wise, to cleave to someone with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, okay, to guide them. All right. Now you have the majority of our people who despise wisdom, man, because they, want to continue to live in accordance to the world, other than the way of the Lord. All right. But that's going to bring their ruin. That's going to bring them to their destruction. But they don't know that. And if they do, they want to title it as YOLO. You only live once. That's that Drake spirit. Okay. Meaning, you do whatever you want to do everything that you can in this life, because it won't matter. You won't be able to have it again, or this is your one and only chance to live the way you want to live with no consequence, no repercussion. All right. It says, a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. You see, you want to attain unto wise counsel. All right. Being at the doorstep of someone who is wise, man. Okay. I think that's Second Ezra, the 8th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. You know, where it goes into that. You know, that's why we have our apostles and our elders. Okay. Because they have the experience. Okay. They have the wisdom and the knowledge, the history. They have what we desire, you know, for you know, as far as, you know, gaining understanding. Okay. You know, reading on, it says, verse 6, to understand a proverb and interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. Okay. How else are you going to understand something that's written in the form of a parable or a similitude or a metaphor? Okay. You won't be able to. And that's what a lot of these Christians, how they read the Bible. All right. They read it for face value, not knowing the true and proper breakdown of the word. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Chapter 2. My son, if thou wilt receive my word and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thy ear unto wisdom, and applying thine heart to understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge, and lifted up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver, and searcheth for her as for hid treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord and find knowledge of the Most High. You see? So there is steps that you have to take in order to gain wisdom. You see? Crying after knowledge, you know, crying to the Lord for understanding, you know, seeking the word, you know, reading the scriptures, praying unto Yahweh Shemiah Shai. Then once you start to see the judgment, you know, once you start to see the power of Yahweh Shemiah Shai throughout the scriptures, then you will learn to fear the Lord, and that he's no respecter of person, and you could easily just as quickly receive any form of judgment that is already written, and possibly something that's not even written. And that's fearful, man. Okay? That's why it's important to fear the Lord. This is nothing to play around with. Not being, you know, angry with the Lord. Okay? Don't be angry with Yahweh Shemiah Shai just because he put you through something. Because really it's a test. It's a test to test your faith, your level of faith. Okay? And I think in the book of I forget exactly where it pretty much talks about if you have weak faith or something like that, something along those lines. I want to say it's in the book of Proverbs somewhere. Bear with me. Let me see if I can find it. Yep, there it is. Kahala Yahweh Shemiah Shai. I'm going to get the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, real quick, and I'm going to come back to that. Proverbs, chapter 24, and verse 7, and it says, wisdom is too high for a fool. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. He that deviseth to do evil shall be called a mischievous person. The thought of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men. If thou faint In the day of adversity, thy strength is small. You see? So the Lord is going to put you through things, man. But it says, if thou faint in the day of adversity, then you have your strength is small, man. And your faith is weak. You know? It says, going back to Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 6, for the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. He keepeth the paths of judgment and preserveth the way of his saints. Then shalt thou understand righteousness, judgment, and equity, yea, every good path. Okay? You'll start to understand every good path. All right? Everything that every way that we should be living. You know? Yahweh Shai was a prime example of that. He was the living, walking example of how we conduct ourselves on in this life, man. Okay? To receive that eternal salvation, that eternal glory, eternal life. You see? It says, verse 10, when wisdom entereth into thy heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. All right? I want to get the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 51, and verse 13. When I was yet young, wherever I went abroad, I desired wisdom openly in my prayer. Okay? You know, that's something that we should be praying for. All right? It says, I prayed for her before the temple and will seek her out even to the end. Okay? What did King Solomon pray for? All right? He prayed for wisdom. He gave him wisdom and much more. It says, I prayed for her before the temple and will seek her out even to the end. Even from the flower to the grape was right, hath my heart delighted in her. My foot went the right way from my youth up, sought I after her. I bowed down mine ear a little and received her and got much learning. Okay? You bow down your ear and received her. Humble down. Listen to the men of the Lord who are teaching the word in truth and sincerity. Okay? Humbling down in the form of you telling yourself you don't know anything, man. Okay? And that you're always have that open ear to receive instruction and guidance. You see? And then you will start to learn, man. You can't come into this thing proud, you know, or have all this pride like you have it all, you know it all, because we're always still learning to this day, no matter how long you've been in the truth. Verse 17, I profited therein, therefore I will ascribe glory unto him that giveth me wisdom. And who gives us wisdom? The Lord. Okay? The Lord is the one who gives us wisdom, man. It says, for I purpose to do after her, and earnestly I followed that which is good, so shall I not be confounded. My soul have wrestled with her, and in my doings I was exact. I stretched forth my hands to heaven above and bewailed in my ignorances of her. I directed my soul unto her and found in her pureness. I have had my heart joined with her from the beginning, therefore shall I not be forsaken. My heart is troubled in seeking her, therefore I have gotten a good possession. All right? Because it says my heart was troubled in seeking her, therefore I have gotten a good possession. And why does he say that there? Why does it say my mind was troubled in seeking her? Because when you constantly searching and seeking after wisdom, you got a good possession. That means that you're doing something good, man. You're doing something right, you know, because wisdom teaches you all these things. And as long as you are willing to learn and to build upon your foundation, okay, that's something good, man. You never want to feel like you already got it down, man. Even though repetition is the father of skill, and we tend to go over familiar precepts, okay. But what about those chapters that you barely read, or that you barely come across, because for whatever reason you don't have certain scriptures highlighted? You tend to neglect it, and I'm guilty of that too. Because as you go through and you're studying, you may naturally your eyes just are more drawn to highlights and notes and things of that nature. But what about those chapters that don't have those notes and those highlights, man? And that's when you got to take it upon yourself to really search and study, and constantly be filled with this knowledge, this truth. Okay. Verse 22, the Lord have given me a tongue for my reward, and I will praise him therewith. Draw near unto me, ye unlearned, and dwell in the house of learning. Wherefore are ye slow? And what say ye to these things, seeing your souls are very thirsty? Okay. Our souls are very thirsty, man. All right. Before I finish that off, I want to go to Ecclesiastes 15 and 3. It says, with the bread of understanding shall she feed him, and give him water of wisdom to drink. You see, the bread of understanding, and this is talking about wisdom. Okay. I'm gonna read from the top. He that feareth the Lord will do good, and he that have the knowledge of the law shall obtain her. It's talking about wisdom. And as a mother shall she meet him, and receive him as a wife married of a virgin. With the bread of understanding shall she feed him, and give him the water of wisdom to drink. You see, and this is how we are nourished, man. This is how we constantly grow in the spirit. Verse 25, Sirach 51 and 25. I opened my mouth and said, buy her of yourself for yourselves without money. Put your neck under the yoke, and let your soul receive instruction. She is hard at hand to find. Okay, because you just can't go out searching for wisdom. For one, the Lord has to have, because in Proverbs, the first chapter, it says, wisdom cried without in the streets. She uttered her voice in the streets, So if the Lord doesn't have it to where you pass, a man of the Lord or a prophet, okay, or if he doesn't put a video, in front of your face, but not only that, because everybody will have heard this truth one way or another, or have seen the men of the Lord one way or another. But the Lord will have to have opened up your spirit, man, opened up your mind and your eyes. You see, but not everybody has that gift. Not everybody has been blessed with that, man. The Lord is not dealing with everybody. Because you'll always see people walking by you when you're out at camp. They won't even try to make eye contact with you, for that matter. Or they'll see the prophets on YouTube or wherever, and they'll scroll right past it like they don't see it. Or they'll listen to it, they'll scoff, and they'll, whatever, this is stupid, this is dumb, whatever, and then keep it on moving. But everybody had the chance to see or hear the words of the Lord. Okay. But yet there's people, the majority of them will despise the words of the Lord. Okay. So the Lord, wisdom is hard to find, but the Lord will reveal her unto you. If you're seeking her, if you're asking for knowledge and you're asking for understanding, the Lord will open up your eyes to be able to receive this information. This glorious, this wonderful information, man, that only few men have. You see? So this is you got to cherish this, man. You have to cherish it and love this, man. Verse 27, behold, with your eyes, how that I have but little labor, and have gotten me unto me much rest. You see? Because we're our labor, even though we're out there weekly, uploading videos and lessons, this is You know, this is our labor, but it's little, man. It's not hard. It's not a lot. You know, it's not it's not demanding. You know, it's not grievous. But then again, with that, man, it gives us much rest. It gives us a peace of mind in knowing the outcome of this story, man. Knowing the ending of the story, or the beginning of the end of this story, better yet. Because when this man's kingdom is done for, that's only the beginning of the end. Or the end of, the beginning of the end. Okay? So that's the end of their kingdom, but yet it's still the beginning of eternity. You see? And we know the outcome of this man's system. We know the outcome of this man's kingdom. And it's done for. And to have that peace of mind and knowing that we're at the end of this man's kingdom, and yet we have eternity to look forward to. That gives you a peace. That gives you a peace of mind and a sense of rest, spiritually speaking. Not physically, because we still are, you know, subject unto payments, you know, under our enemies and things of that nature. We still got to go work, okay? But that's all going to come to a screeching halt very soon, okay? You know, when everybody's going to be on the same playing field, you know, the rich and the poor are going to be equal, all right? Reading on, it says, verse 28, get learning with a great sum of money and get much gold by her. Let your soul rejoice in his mercy and not be ashamed of his praise. Work your work betimes, and in his time he will give you your reward. And see that one precept in itself speaks volume. Work your work betimes, and in his time he will give you your reward. What's that reward that we're seeking after, man? What's that reward that we're fighting for? You see? That's the the crown. You know? Let me get that to prove it in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 in verse 15. It says, but the righteous live evermore. The reward also is with the Lord, and the care of them is with the Most High. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom, a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. You see? And that's beautiful, man. That's our reward. That's what we're seeking after. Okay? You know? I want to get the book of Sirach chapter 4 and verse 17. It says, For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment her with her discipline, until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws. You see, so wisdom will vet you. Okay, there's a vetting process when it comes to having and receiving wisdom. You're going to be put through certain situations and certain obstacles to see whether or not, you're going to do according to what the law says, or what's critical in that one moment, in that specific time. Okay. When your back up is up against the wall, you know, are you going to revert to self and the ways of the world? Are you going to revert to the scripture? Revert to the understanding and the knowledge that's been bestowed upon you. Okay? Wisdom will try you. The Lord is going to try you and see if you're ready to receive more. All right? Verse 18. Then will she return the straight way unto him and comfort him and show him her secrets. You see? She's going to show us her secrets. If we do, according to wisdom, according to the knowledge and the understanding, the laws of the Most High. Okay? Having faith in Yahweh Shem Shai, that he can get us through whatever situation. But you also got to remember the Lord is not going to give you anything more than you can bear. 1 Corinthians 10:13. Okay. Verse 19, but if he go wrong, she will forsake him and give him over to his ruin. You see, so if you act according to your own ways or the ways of the world, what would you do in this situation? You're a regular coworker or somebody in the world next to you, they're going to react one way, and you have to act a completely opposite way, man. But the only difference is that they don't have this truth and you do. So what are you gonna do with it? You're gonna use it, or you're gonna cast it behind you, man? You see? I want to go back to Wisdom of Solomon, and then I'm gonna go to chapter 6 and verse 20, and I'll end it with this. I'll start at verse 16. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love. You see, so the beginning of her is to desire discipline. Okay, you have to want to change your life. You have to want to wash away the old ways, man, by the cleansing of the word. Okay, you have to desire to get rid of that old man, that wicked old man of yours. Constantly beating him up, man, on a daily basis. That's what you should want to do right by the Lord. Okay, verse 18, and the love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption, and corruption maketh us near unto the Most High. Verse 20, therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. If your delight be in the thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom that ye may reign forevermore. Okay, that's the goal, man. That's the code has been cracked. The men of the Lord have cracked the code. Okay, to serve the Lord with all truth and sincerity and humility. Okay, seek after knowledge, strive unto truth, unto death. Desire to be crowned, man. Desire to be blessed by the Lord. Verse 22, as for wisdom, what is she and how she came up? I will tell you, and will not hide mysteries from you, but will seek her out from the beginning of her nativity, and bring the knowledge of her into light, and will not pass over the truth. You see, do not pass over the truth. And I know I said I was going to end it on that, but let me go back to Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, this is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endured forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Okay, so we're to come back to the ways of the Lord, man. The commandments of the Most High. And it's more than just 613, man. Out of the first 5 books, yes, 613, but when Yahweh Shai came, man, he and therefore he reiterated it, but the laws are continuous, man. But we're going to one day have those laws embedded in our spirit, man, upgraded to a new body, and a body that can attain and hold on to all of the laws and the commandments, man, and never go off. All right. But it says, all that shall keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. So that was pretty much it. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And with that, I want to give honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Nerubel, Peace, blessing, and salutation to the Akim that are pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in all truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this reaches the ears of the hopeful elect. And until next time, shalom.